Hello there, friend. It's me, your companion from the gray muzzle, and today we're talking about those whisper-soft signals your old dog sends your way. You know the feeling, you're sitting on the couch, maybe reading, maybe watching the news, and something subtle catches your ear or the corner of your eye. A sound so gentle, it almost blends into the quiet hum of your home. It's not a bark, not a frantic whine, but something else entirely. Something that, once you learn to recognize it, becomes a clear message from your beloved senior dog. We're going to explore 5 of these soft, often overlooked noises your older dog makes when they need something, helping you translate their subtle language. And stick with me, because the last one is the most important and often the easiest to miss, yet it holds a key to their comfort every single day. Let's start with number 5, the soft groan. This isn't a pained yelp or a deep, guttural growl. Instead, it's often a quiet, almost involuntary sound, a sort of sighing groan that emanates from them when they're settling down, or more commonly, when they're trying to get up. Picture this. Your dog has been napping peacefully on their orthopedic bed, and you notice a slight shift. As they attempt to gather their legs underneath them, you hear a very faint, almost breathy pH sound, barely audible. This isn't a complaint, not exactly. It's more of an acknowledgement of effort. For dogs over, say, 8 or 9 years old, this soft groan can be a gentle indicator of joint stiffness. Think of it like that little oof you might make when you stand up after sitting for a long time. They're telling you, in their quiet way, that moving isn't quite as effortless as it used to be. Have you noticed your dog making this sound more frequently after a long nap or on colder mornings? If you're hearing these soft groans, it's a good time to consider their comfort. Veterinarians widely agree that supportive bedding can make a world of difference for senior dogs. Is their current bed truly supportive? One practical step you can take today is to ensure they have an orthopedic memory foam bed that provides excellent pressure relief, especially if they weigh 40 pounds or more. This isn't about luxury. It's about reducing the strain on their joints with every movement. A good orthopedic bed doesn't just offer a soft place to land. It actively supports their body, making those transitions from lying down to standing up a little bit easier. Are you wondering what else these quiet sounds might be telling you? Moving on to number 4, the quiet sigh. Distinct from the groan, a sigh is often accompanied by a release of breath, a gentle exhalation that seems to carry a little bit of feeling. Sometimes it's a sigh of contentment, a deep breath out after a good meal or a comforting cuddle. But other times, especially in an older dog, a quiet sigh can indicate a mild discomfort or a feeling of being a bit off. Imagine your dog lying near you, perfectly still, and you hear a soft whoosh of air, a gentle sigh that feels a little heavy. It's not necessarily a sign of pain, but perhaps a subtle expression of boredom, a slight internal ache, or even a feeling of being a little restless. It's their way of saying, I'm here, and something's not quite right in my world, even if I can't articulate it with a bark. Have you noticed your dog sighing more when they haven't had a chance to go for their usual short walk, or if their routine has been disrupted? A quiet sigh can be your cue to check in. Is their water bowl fresh? Have they had a chance to relieve themselves recently? Sometimes a senior dog might sigh because they have a full bladder or bowels and are waiting patiently for you to notice. Other times, it might indicate a slight unease from a change in diet or a touch of indigestion. This isn't a dramatic plea, but a soft whisper. Orthopedic vets often recommend a consistent routine for older dogs, including regular, gentle walks of 10 to 15 minutes, 2 to 3 times a day, to help with both physical and mental well-being. A change in their sighing pattern, becoming more frequent or accompanied by other subtle cues, could be a same-week vet visit, just to rule out anything easily treatable like a urinary tract infection. It's all about paying attention to their baseline. What about sounds that feel a little more direct in their request? And number 3, we have a gentle whine. This isn't the high-pitched, insistent whine of a puppy demanding attention or the frustrated bark of a younger dog. The gentle whine from an older dog is often of very low volume, almost murmur-like sound. It's often brief, a single soft MH or a short, barely audible whimper. This sound is usually directed at you, a quiet attempt to get your attention without being demanding. Perhaps they're standing by the door, looking at you with those wise, old eyes, and you hear a tiny whine. Or maybe they're by their food bowl, and as you walk by, you catch a soft, almost apologetic whimper. This is often a direct, yet humble, request. They need to go outside, they're feeling a bit hungry, or perhaps they're simply craving a moment of quiet companionship, a gentle pat on the head, or a reassuring presence. Are you picking up on these subtle, almost shy requests from your senior companion? When your dog offers this gentle whine, it's an invitation to engage. It's usually an easier message to interpret because it often comes with clear body language, standing by the door, looking at the food bowl, or nudging your hand with their nose. This is your dog communicating a basic need that they can't fulfill on their own. For dogs over 7 or 8 years old, sometimes this gentle whine can be a signal that they need a little help navigating stairs, or perhaps they've had an accident and are feeling a bit distressed. Remember that their mobility isn't what it once was, and they might need assistance with things they used to do effortlessly. Taking a moment to address these quiet whines reinforces their trust in you and ensures their basic needs are met with kindness and understanding. What about even more subtle vocalizations that might surprise you? Coming in at number 2 is the soft snort or huff. This is often an overlooked sound because it can easily be mistaken for a clearing of the throat or just a random breath. But for a senior dog, a soft snort or huff can be a mild expression of frustration or a gentle way of trying to get your attention when they're feeling a bit ignored or stuck. Imagine your dog trying to maneuver themselves into a comfortable position on the couch or attempting to reach a toy that is rolled just out of their grasp. You might hear a small, almost exasperated huff of air through their nose, a sound that says, "Ugh, this is harder than it looks," or "Come on, can you give me a hand here?" It's not an angry sound, but a soft, almost grumbling exhalation. It's a very common sound in older dogs who might be experiencing mild cognitive decline, leading to small moments of confusion or mild frustration when things don't go quite as planned. Have you noticed these little huffs when your dog seems to be troubleshooting a small problem? A soft snort or huff is often your cue to observe and offer help. Is there something they're trying to reach? Are they struggling to get comfortable? Sometimes a dog over the age of 10 might huff because they've forgotten where their favorite chew toy is, or they're mildly disoriented by a change in furniture arrangement. This is not a cause for alarm, but it is a gentle reminder to provide a calm, predictable environment. Ensuring their favorite items are easily accessible and that pathways are clear can reduce these small moments of frustration. Veterinarians widely recommend mental stimulation for senior dogs, even simple puzzle toys or short training sessions, to keep their minds engaged and potentially lessen mild cognitive issues. Remember, every little bit helps them navigate their world with more ease. And now, for the most important sound, the one that often goes completely unnoticed, but speaks volumes about your dog's comfort and well-being. The number one most important subtle noise your old dog makes when they need something is the absence of noise, combined with a gentle stare or a very soft nudge. This isn't a sound at all, yet it's the loudest message they can send. Imagine this. You're engrossed in your phone or a conversation, and you feel a very light, almost imperceptible pressure on your hand or leg. You look down, and your dog is there, utterly silent, just looking at you. Their eyes are soft, perhaps a little heavy-lidded, and there's no frantic tail wagging, no bark, just that steady, quiet gaze. Or you might catch them from across the room, sitting patiently, not making a sound, just watching you with an almost wistful expression. This is your dog's ultimate act of gentle communication. They are silently asking for connection, for reassurance, for comfort, or perhaps indicating a deeper, ongoing discomfort that they don't want to bother you with. This isn't a fleeting thought. It's a sustained moment of quiet presence, waiting for you to notice. This silent plea, the gentle stare or soft nudge, is paramount. It often means your dog is experiencing something more profound than simple hunger or a need to go outside. It could be mild pain, a generalized feeling of being unwell, anxiety, or simply a deep craving for your comforting presence. For dogs over 7 years old, A consistent change in their level of engagement, or these sustained silent stares, could be a sign that they need a vet checkup. Veterinarians widely agree that early intervention for age-related discomforts can significantly improve a senior dog's quality of life. This isn't about diagnosing, but about being proactive. If you notice your dog regularly seeking you out with this quiet, focused attention, take it as a serious cue. Spend a few extra minutes gently feeling their body for tender spots, observing their breathing, and checking their gums. The single most practical takeaway from today is this: listen with more than just your ears. Observe with more than just your eyes. Tune into the subtle language your senior dog is speaking, not just through barks or obvious whines, but through those soft groans, quiet sighs, gentle whines, soft snorts, and especially through their silent presence and gentle stares. These are not just sounds or gestures. They are invitations to connect, to understand, and to provide comfort. And remember, while I offer guidance from experience, this information is for educational purposes only and not a substitute for professional veterinary advice. If you ever have concerns about your dog's health, please consult with your veterinarian. By learning to interpret these quiet signals, you're not just being a good owner, you're being their best friend and advocate, ensuring their golden years are as comfortable and happy as possible. If you found this helpful, please consider subscribing to The Gray Muzzle. Join our community as we navigate these beautiful, quiet years with our senior dogs and ensure they have many more good years ahead. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, give your gray-muzzled friend an extra